everybody? Johnny here with my boy Q.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, man?
Good morning. Happy
So,
to be here.
no doubt, Happy New Year, man.
Thank you. Same to you. God bless.
Yo, so we're here today just talking about ambitions and goals and how the everyday life can kind of get in the way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, Q, lead us on. Let me know, put us on to who you are and what's going on.
My name is Quasi. Everybody calls me Q. Some people call me Coach Q. That's a huge subject that you're bringing up. Ambition and life and everything. Life hits you so hard.
Hmm.
Sometimes that you don't take a second to be like, where did this start?
Yeah.
As a kid, you hear kids say, I want to be a lawyer.
Hmm.
I want to be a doctor.
Sure.
I want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Nobody says, I want to be a crackhead.
No,
But we see them, right?
No doubt. Yeah.
Nobody says, I want to be a laborer.
Right.
But they're there. I myself, I'm a retail parts manager for a chain store. As a kid, I've never wanted to be what I am right now in terms of occupation.
Sure.
As a young man, I wanted to be what everybody else wanted to be. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Hmm.
I went to school. I took up business law. I always had a fascination with cars. I says, I want to go to mechanic school. Went to automotive school.
I see. That's funny you say. I went to automotive high school in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So we had the same kind of similar thing.
Exactly.
I would go in the streets with my brother-in-law. We would actually take cars apart in the street.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a what's up connection like that.
So I did that for a little bit, but I had I've always been passionate about boxing.
Okay.
So I when I was a kid, my dad took me to do karate, and then I wanted to do boxing. My mom said no. My dad put me in judo. I wanted to do boxing. My mom said no. So when I got to a certain age, I said, Mom, I'm gonna box. I'm going. And I was old enough that at that point she couldn't say no, and I went. I thought at one point I thought I'd become a professional boxer.
Okay.
That was my dream.
Okay.
I
So what happened? What happened? Why didn't you become that professional boxer?
It's so strange because when you dream,
Mhm.
right, you can do anything.
Absolutely.
When you dream, you can do anything. I was a good fighter, believe it or not. I think I was what you call a gym rat.
Okay.
That you come to the gym and you get it.
Right.
I started winning fights. I learned how to win.
Okay.
I never learned how to lose.
Okay. That's good.
I never learned how to lose. And when I lost, it made me sit down and analyze certain things. It made me analyze my age.
Right.
It made me analyze the possibilities and the percentages of people that make it in professional boxing. And I decided at that moment to take a safe bet instead of continuing to chase dreams, because I was scared to become a certain age and be a dream chaser. And people say, well, look at him. He's done nothing with his life. He's chasing a dream. And I look back and I says, it was a mistake.
Stopping at that loss.
Yes.
So you feel like that loss.
That loss.
You could have gained more knowledge by that loss.
I could have
exactly perpetuated yourself more with that loss.
Exactly. I look back in hindsight, and everything is God's plan. I understand that.
Sure.
But we don't prepare ourselves
for the loss.
For losses in life.
Right.
We don't prepare ourselves for obstacles in life. Like we get ready for the wedding, but we don't get ready for the marriage.
Like that, yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
We it's and if you look at sports, most coaches are people or athletes that could have done better.
Right.
right?
And most coaches never played the game,
No, exactly.
right? But they're good as hell. They're good as
But
fuck.
because
right.
you know why that happens, and I've analyzed this, and I've thought about it for a long time. When you have the capability of doing something and you don't, you spend a lot of time thinking about where you went wrong,
So that regret factor.
the regret factor.
So how can we get people, especially minorities, right?
Right.
You're a black man. I'm
Yes.
Puerto Rican.
Yes.
So how can we get minorities to get that regret to perpetuate you to a positive outcome? Use that negative energy as positive energy.
And you know what's the funny part? It's so simple, but it's a forgotten art. Talking to the ones that come after you.
Mhm.
Fatherhood to son.
Yeah.
Fatherhood to son, coach to fighter. It used to be, they have a saying, it takes a village
Mhm.
to raise a child,
Absolutely.
right? Where when we were younger, we get advice from dad,
Mhm.
we get advice from the uncle,
Yeah.
we get advice from the neighbor,
Yeah.
from grandma, from grandpa,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And we would learn from their experiences. And believe it or not, passing down the mistakes that you learned, when you help the person coming after you, it helps you.
Absolutely.
It helps you. Um, we should never give up on our dreams. If we have people come behind us, we should say, you could do it. You know, we could do it. And I think we, as since you brought it up, we as minorities have been trained to say, we cannot do this. We
Absolutely.
cannot do this.
Because I know, growing up in Brooklyn, I grew up in Thomas Projects, and I could see the Twin Towers from I live on the 11th floor.
Yes, sir.
So I could see the Twin Towers through the haze.
Yes, sir.
But I was always told, don't go over there. That's not you. Don't go to Manhattan. That's not
Don't
you.
go to Manhattan. Exactly.
Stay in the block.
Exactly.
Let's do block shit.
Exactly.
Let's be around.
And
Do stick up kid shit.
And that's what it
That's
is.
it.
Because, I feel like had I had a different support system,
Mhm.
someone to tell me, no, we gotta get up. We gotta go. I have a son. He played ice hockey in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And he played in the league. He was the only black kid in the league. There were other mixed kids,
Sure.
but he was the only black kid in the league. And how he came about playing ice hockey was peculiar, because one day he said to me, Dad, what's your favorite sport? And I looked at him like, son, come on now, Daddy coaches boxing. That's his favorite sport, right? I said, boxing. And he said, and I said to him, what's your favorite sport? And he said, ice hockey. I said, ice hockey?
Where that shit came from?
Where did this come from?
Right.
Like, dude, we live on Flatbush.
Right.
He has never been on the ice and everything. He saw it on TV. He watches the winter sports. He plays the video games.
He fell in love with it.
He liked it. So I said to him, but I had my mindset was different.
Okay.
As an adult, I said to him, that's what you like? He said, yeah. I said, okay. The next Saturday morning I woke up, I took him to the ice rink.
Okay.
Right?
Fantastic.
We went to the ice rink.
Good shit.
And, he saw the kids practicing. I said, this is what you want to do? He said, yeah. I said, I bought him some ice time. And I'll be honest, the whole family went.
It was an event.
It was an event.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I had a younger son who was probably like 4 years old. My lady went. We all got skates. We rented skates.
That's what's up.
My first son, he went around by himself, walked around. My lady, she went a little further than me. I went about 4 feet. My little man, he fell on the ice and he skated, and I couldn't get him. And I asked a young lady skating by, I said, excuse me, can you slide my son over? I just can't get him,
Right.
But by the second round or the third round around, my son had got the gist of it.
So he got that kind of rhythm going
right.
in. Yeah.
So I said, we're going to come back again. And God works in mysterious ways. I worked at a dealership at the time, and one of my clients came in and he says, how's you doing? How you doing? He said, are you still coaching boxing? And I said, yes. He said, my dad was a boxer. I said, I never knew that. He said, yeah, but I never liked it. I like hockey. I said, oh, my son likes hockey. And he said, I coach hockey. I said, really? I said, my son wants to play. He told me, I want you to go to this place at this time, speak to this person, and tell them that I sent you. So the next weekend, I packed up the whole family. We went to the arena, saw that person at that time in the place, and she said, you know, because we were what we are.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, we don't. You know, the classes are full. Everything is full. You could fill us out, and you could come back next season." I said, "Okay." I says, "Well, Adam Maloney, who the person, the friend was, he says he sent me, and he told me that I should see you." She says, "You know Adam?" And I said, "Yeah, he's a friend of mine." She says, "You know what? We'll fit him in."
Wow.
They put him in, and they had him on walkers. They were skating with walkers.
Sure.
The first couple of weeks, my son started excelling, and they took him out of the beginners class. And they put him in the intermediate class, and from the intermediate class, I took him out of that class and put him on a team.
That's awesome.
Within less than a year, he was one of the fastest kids on the team.
That's great.
And everybody around me was like, "Why you put your son in hockey? Black people don't play hockey." I said, "No, my son plays hockey.
Yeah.
My son's a hockey player." And I learned something from, you got to learn from everything.
Absolutely.
My dad always says, you got to seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave.
Right.
Right? So I learned something from Obama when he was running for president. I realized he never spoke about being a black president, never spoke about being a black candidate. And I made that rule about my son. I never had him in his mind thinking that he was a black hockey player. I said, "You're a hockey player.
Right.
You got to be the best hockey player," you know. And that's something we, as minorities, black, Puerto Rican, whichever minority you are, right? You have to say, "I'm not a black student. I'm not a black worker. I'm not a black manager. I am equal.
You're Q.
I'm Q.
You're just Q.
I'm just Q."
That's it.
You understand? So that's very important when you go in terms of goals.
Right.
Don't give yourself a limit. Don't give yourself a title. You gotta talk it into existence. You gotta pray it into existence, right? And you gotta take time to teach the ones that come behind us. The only way we as a people are gonna reach a certain level is if we start changing what's around us.
Right. Right.
And then you change one extra. That's important, you know. But again, we started off with the goals and how we think. You know, it's very easy to have an excuse as to I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
I gotta do this. I gotta take the kids.
So how do you? What are you doing now? You have this passion.
Yes.
Right. You're older, just like
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
Right. We're rediscovering that no, time is valuable because
Yes.
second half of our phase of our life, right?
Yes.
And we're doing this podcast right
Yes.
now. This is what my passion has become.
Yes.
I've always been the developer and
Yes.
coaching people and stuff like
Yes.
that, but I never did nothing with it. I just
Okay.
decided to stay in corporate America
And do,
and do the basic job because that's
Yes.
what I was told, self-taught. And I was like, no, I got to take shit in my own hands now. So
yes.
what are you doing to take boxing in your own hands to really make it to what you want now?
Now, I am currently in the process of setting up a non-for-profit organization,
Okay.
which we already done the first step of doing that. The name of the organization is going to be Village 786,
Okay.
and the name may sound a little strange, but
Yeah, give us some history on the name. How you
the
came up
name,
with
I
that
came up with the name. It's very simple. My dad and my grandma, they always have sayings. One of the sayings that I said, it takes a village to raise a child,
Mhm.
and if we don't start doing that, we're going to lose our children, right? Especially with everybody working, the hustle and bustle of today's life. So I wanted the mindset of the village. We're going to take care of the youth. We're going to take care of the future, because you could invest in stocks, you could invest in in real estate, you don't invest in the kids.
Right.
We're done. And 7 and 6 is something that religions use in the past, which it's a code for in the name of God.
Okay.
So it's basically
That's what's up. That's really cool combo right
you know
there.
God's village.
Right.
God's
Yeah.
village, and we
Yeah.
and it takes a village, and we want to be the village. And what I'm doing is I'm having a boxing program
Okay.
where if it's gonna be a boxing gym. You want to be a world champion, you come there. You want to defend yourself, you come there. You want to get in shape, you come there. It's gonna have an after school program where we're gonna have mentoring. In the past, when I coached boxing in Brooklyn, New York, I had simple rules. And the rule was I would train you even for free. You couldn't be in a gang. If you're age to go to school, you had to go to school.
Right.
You had to bring me your report card, every report card. And the reason behind it was if you don't go to school, you're not going to learn. The first part is get to school.
Sure.
The second part is pay attention in class.
Yeah.
If there's something you don't understand, we can get you help. But if you don't get to class, we can't get you there.
So, let me ask you this. I love the nonprofit factor.
Mhm.
I really do. But how does Q make money off of that?
Now this.
How do you support your family? Like, how do you get out of what you're doing now
Yes.
to make that full time?
Well, this is how it works. It is not for profit.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that it's going to be free for everyone.
Sure.
If you're of a working age and you want to come to the gym, you're going to pay to come to the gym.
Sure.
If you want personal training and you're not a student, you're going to pay for that.
Absolutely.
If you're we do have a link and base with professional promoters and managers thing. So we will have a professional program for professional fighters to come and train at the gym also.
Right. We're in Atlanta, just let people know. So
we are in
Atlanta. Me and Q from Brooklyn.
Yes,
we met by circumstance.
But circumstance.
And we're here in Atlanta, which is crazy. And Q is a great person. Like I see him work all the time, and he's a person that has a lot of vigor and self value and self worth, and you see it. But then I also see the side that you don't want to be here.
You know what it is? I want to live.
No doubt, I get that. But you want to be.
I don't want to exist.
You don't want to be here, like
no,
not.
No, you know
not
what
in
it
this
is.
place still. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to. You know what it is.
You want to do what you want to do. When you coach boxing.
When I coach boxing, I feel alive.
Right.
When I punch a clock and I do my job, I take my job seriously. But there's not passion.
No, it's just to make ends meet. It's to pay
it's
pay the bills, and that's some man shit there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some people have said it for a long time. When you do something you love, you don't work a day.
Absolutely.
You don't work a day.
Yeah.
I
could fucking sit and talk to people all day.
All day.
If I can find a way to make money off of it, that'd be great.
Oh, man, I'm trying to tell you. And it's so funny because you get up and you do something. You say, okay, I paid this bill. I paid this bill. But even when you're in when you're in an environment of something that feels stagnant.
Yeah.
That feels stagnant. That there's no movement. There's no thing.
It's just a fucking disease.
It's not good.
It makes you feel sick.
It's not good. And I tell you this: if you're an ambitious person and you're around people that's not an ambitious person, it's going to make you disgusted.
Absolutely.
If you're a thinker, because you're a smart person. Let's talk about this for a second. No, you are a smart person. Then, if you are a thinker and you think outside the box and you have conversations with people that don't think outside the box or not thinkers, and I'm not throwing something, but I'm talking facts. It's as a kid, we learn to read.
Mm-hmm.
We learn to read as a kid, and people read, and they say, okay, how good is this person of a reader? And they pick up a book, and they read the book, and they pronounce all the words correct. And then you say, okay, what does that mean? They can't fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Because you have to read and comprehend.
Right.
Not read, pronunciate. A couple of years ago, they were making jokes about Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
right? It was on Hot 97, was
Yeah.
it not?
Yeah.
They made jokes about his reading and his pronunciation, right? But you got to think about this. Here's a guy that makes contracts that makes him $300 million, right? So I think he understands.
He comprehends some shit.
He comprehends something. Right.
Right.
You understand?
He knows numbers.
People making $20,000 and $30,000 a year laughing at somebody that wakes up when he wants to wake up and works when he wants to work and retired at 30 something.
See, but I think what people misunderstand is that when you have a passion,
Yeah.
when you have something that you just love to do,
Yeah.
and like you said earlier, like, it doesn't feel like it's work.
No.
But you got to put the fucking work in.
But you got to put the work in.
And it's going to be no
It's
different
gonna
from
be-
your job now.
no.
You're working 10, 12 hours a day.
Yes.
You can do the same thing for that as well.
Yes.
And to have that stigma of entrepreneurship, I think people have the wrong idea of entrepreneurship.
Excuse me.
You good? I think people tend to look at entrepreneurship as, like you just said, he can work whenever he wants to work. He's working every day.
No, he is. You're right.
He's
You're
hustling
right.
every
You're
fucking
right.
day.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Now, you see him partying hard because he's fucking bust his ass probably 80 hours, 90 hours a week
Yeah.
to make that shit happen.
Yes.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
You know what?
And then to box, as you know,
Yes.
the
Yes.
training,
Yes.
the
He might
discipline
train
of
2 times a
food.
day. I don't want to.
you know what I'm saying?
I don't want
But no,
to.
just to put
Yeah.
in context and perspective for people,
Yeah.
like if you're that person who thinks that I'm being an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be something
Yeah.
so I could take time off.
Yeah.
You're not a fucking entrepreneur thinker.
No.
Because
no,
entrepreneurs
you
don't take a fucking day off.
He's doing it. I don't want people to have the perception that I say he wakes
No,
up.
no,
when
no,
he wants to
yeah,
wake
yeah.
up. I mean to say that he wakes up at his time.
Exactly.
I don't want to say that he wakes up. When I say he wakes up, and when he was, I don't mean he wakes up at 10 a.m. He's getting up 3 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
and he might go train 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
He on Sundays he's doing his thing. If I gotta get up to go to work at 4 o'clock to punch a clock, that's somebody else's time.
Yeah.
I'm giving my time to somebody else.
Right.
But when I get up at 4 o'clock and I go to the gym to train somebody that wants to be a world champion, that's me.
So what are you doing right now? Are you actually training someone right now?
At this time, I'm training my son.
Okay.
I'm training my son. He's 8 years old. He's been coming to the gym since he was in the baby carrier. And while I was training, I've trained fighters that I've won as a coach. I've won every tournament in New York City as an amateur. The Olympian at 178, we lost to him by 1 point.
Right.
So I've put a lot of time in that. I want to spend a little bit of time with my son.
Sorry.
Good
Hey,
morning.
you're fine. Good morning.
And because I feel like he's sat on the bench and watched for a long time.
Sure.
So I spend a lot of time with him, getting his basics down and getting, because I want to be a classic.
Right.
I want to be a classic, and his passion is as strong as I've ever seen, like in an adult or a child. But with that being said, we're still in the process of looking for a location
Okay.
to put the gym, and once that has happened, then we're gonna continue to have more boxes.
So let's be realistic here. How's that gonna affect your daily gig? At what time are you gonna have to really contribute once you get the location, right?
Right.
What's the timeline? I guess how much time you're gonna put of yourself into that gym, knowing that you still have to have your day job, because the gym you're not gonna pay nothing up front.
No.
How you gonna pay the bills?
What we're gonna do is, I'm blessed to the position I'm in. I can make my own schedule,
Okay.
so I'll be coming in earlier to work, even a little earlier. I'm also gonna have another coach at the gym
Okay.
that I've already come up with 1 or 2 candidates. There's a former Connecticut / New York boxer. His name is, I don't know if I can put his name out there.
It's up to you.
But but he is in the Georgia, the state of Georgia now.
Okay.
He's already started coaching
Okay.
in Georgia. We've had conversations about him coming on board, so that's a beautiful thing.
That is.
Georgia doesn't have a huge notoriety for boxing,
Right.
but it does have a rich boxing background in that Evander Holyfield.
Absolutely.
Evander Holyfield
Yeah.
is from Georgia.
Yes, he is.
He's from the beautiful state of Georgia. He's a former Olympian. He's a great world champion,
Yeah.
and he has just started. He has just started to promote boxing.
Right.
He has started to promote boxing. So boxing in Georgia is coming. Danny Jacobs,
Yeah.
former middleweight champ of the world. He's recently purchased a house in Georgia.
Because you know
Jadon Codrington
we know that growing up in Brooklyn, there was a boxing
gym.
gym.
There's
like,
probably
a
more
corner.
boxing gyms and libraries.
You know,
There's
but
probably-
then it's gone. It's gone to shit now, right?
Right.
So
It has gone to shit. I don't know if I can say that, but
Yeah.
it's gone to shit because, I think the culture has gotten watered down. There's such a haste. There's such a haste to put your product out there. There's such a haste to put your product out there that you put them out there before times.
Cause it's funny because I know UFC had its struggle in the beginning, the heyday, because there was no regulations. People were just
Yeah.
fighting different weight classes.
Yeah.
Then they put regulations on it.
Yeah.
It kind of took over boxing, right?
I
As far as
don't
interest,
see it. I don't see it.
you don't think as far as people being interested in
No.
no,
No.
is that because of the way it's set up? Because
It's-
boxing's
you
very
know,
individualized. You have promoters and
Yes. It's boxing. UFC is excited.
right,
And you gotta. I have a lot of respect for UFC. I have respect for any person that is a gladiator. You
Right.
understand? Because in this day and age, boxing and UFC is the last of the gladiators.
right,
I wish, to be honest with you, sometimes I wish that I lived in the times where they would fight in front of Caesar,
right.
and Caesar would say, okay, thumb up or thumb down.
But-
the people decide.
But don't you think that the past couple of years, UFC has probably actually helped out boxing by bringing attention because it's a competition where they're saying we're better than you or whatever, and then the McGregor and Floyd fight was like, okay, now you're gonna come in my ring,
Right.
then we should. And like, the only thing that what Floyd did right there was really put a better spotlight on boxing now for
Well, if anybody who has an understanding of the combat sport, any combat sport, the object should be to hit and not get hit,
sure,
right? The dynamics of boxing, any champion or great champion or the greatest champion,
yeah,
right? Allegedly, defense is what's important. It's to hit, not get hit.
absolutely,
Defense wins championships in any sport.
yeah,
In any sport, we watched Atlanta, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If the defense held up, we would have had a championship.
absolutely,
I don't see defense in UFC the way I see it in boxing.
right,
I don't see it. So UFC is not complete.
sure.
UFC is not yet complete.
It's still young. It's still a young sport, yeah.
But until you have defense, I can't recognize you. You understand? Above boxing. Boxing's a science. Boxing's a science, right? I could recognize Olympic wrestling before I could recognize UFC.
Right,
I have to because if you can't sit down and put a formula to something, it's a street fight. It's a street fight, right? And like I said, I tip my hat off to them because you got to be tough,
yeah,
right? But UFC fighters, they don't tuck the chin. They're not sitting on the angle. They're not turning, right? They're trading blows.
right,
They're trading blows. There's. You tell me a UFC fighter that could be in a sport for as long as a Floyd Mayweather, and still have the functions of a Floyd Mayweather or a De La Hoya or a Bernard Hopkins.
right.
You can't have it. It's like a firecracker.
So just listening to you, you're just like fucking excited when you talk about boxing.
It
Like,
has
I
to
can
be.
see in your fucking
It
eyes right
has
now.
to
Like
be.
it's amazing to watch it.
It's me.
Right, right.
It's me, to be honest with you. I'll tell you a story. My grandmother passed away on the 23rd,
Sorry to hear that,
right?
Yeah.
And I had to fight in New York.
Yeah.
And a few of my fighters came to visit. One fighter in particular, I said, let's go to the gym. Let's go see everybody at the gym. We got to the gym. And there's basically nobody in the gym. There was like 2 or 3 people.
Right.
Like, it was cold. It was Christmas time.
Sure.
And we were sitting down, talking to one of the other trainers, and he was asking me how Georgia was and how everything was. And we were talking, and my fighter said, "Coach, I got my bag in the trunk." I says, "Oh yeah." He says, we could train a little bit. I says, go get your bag. And we probably did an hour and a half worth of work. And for that hour and a half, I promise you, everything was right with my visit.
All right.
Everything was right with the world. There was no bills to get paid. There was no stress. There was no sadness. There was no nothing. It's the passion. It's a beautiful thing. Whatever your passion is in life, you gotta go get it.
Right. Right.
You gotta go get it. You know, if your passion is music,
Mhm.
you gotta go get it. If your passion is acting,
So let me ask you this: so, was there any time anyone told you, or maybe whispered in your ear, "Yo, don't do that shit"?
oh man, every day,
And has that
every
ever
day,
kind of make you pause?
it has.
Okay,
It has.
talk about that.
And I tell you this. I tell you this. I tell you this. Sometimes the people in your camp
Mm-hmm.
is not for you. Sometimes somebody's on your team, but they're not really on your team. You understand? They wear the jersey and they got the same shirt on, but they're not for you.
Right.
We talking. The thing. I mean, when I first started coaching, my grandfather, listen, I'm saying that my grandfather said, how could he be a coach? He didn't make it as a boxer. He can't be no coach. You understand? And I just use it as fuel.
Absolutely.
Because by that time, I understood that, you know what? This dance is dance. Fighters fight and haters hate.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't accomplish stuff for themselves will always try to have you come down, right?
So how are you taking losses now? Because you said
Oh
you
yes.
lost. You lost.
Oh,
you lost
yes.
that first match in boxing.
Oh yes.
And then
You know
it,
what?
it stopped you.
Yes. Guess what? It's
And
a
now-
learning.
Okay, so now
It's
how
a learning.
how are
It's-
you using that to perpetuate your
man.
law?
It's
How's that different?
you have to be passionate about winning. You have to take a loss. There's two things you gotta do with it. You gotta take it as a fuel
Mhm.
to train harder, to work harder, but you also gotta take it as a lesson to work smarter.
So
And say, what mistake did I make? Why did I lose?
right.
Why did I lose? You should understand. Why did I lose?
So you gotta use that loss as motivation,
Motivation.
not as something that's gonna stop you.
Not as a weight.
Because
Not as
a
a
lot
weight.
of people tend to overthink shit,
Yes.
and then they get into their own fucking heads.
Yes.
And then they're like, you know what? Fuck
Yes.
this shit. Mom
Yes.
and dad was right. I shouldn't be fucking doing this. Let me enroll in this fucking school and become get a criminal
Yeah.
justice degree.
Yeah.
Okay, all minorities get a fucking criminal justice degree.
Yeah.
And then they're working at fucking Best Buy.
And then I work at Best Buy. And 20 years go by.
20 years go by.
They get to 45,
Right.
and then they're miserable.
Right.
You don't know why. You don't know why. But it's because you haven't lived. You have not lived.
You just been waking up.
You've just been existing.
That's it.
You've just been existing.
Right.
You understand? So, I take any loss. You know, losses is not just in competition. Losses, you can go to work and have a loss.
Absolutely.
You could lose you could be in a relationship.
Right.
You could be in a relationship and have a loss.
Absolutely.
Right? So let me ask you something. You don't go to the next relationship with a better understanding,
Right.
right? Like you're in a relationship now, right?
Yeah. I was divorced. I'm
You was divorced. So let me ask you something. Were you not more prepared for the second marriage than you were
Yeah.
for the first?
I'm actually probably a better man to my
course.
soon to be wife than I was probably to my ex-wife.
Of course.
You know, it's fucked up, but it's true. You
It's
know,
true.
It is what it
No,
is.
it's life, bro. It's life.
Exactly.
Let me ask you something. You gotta think about it. You gotta think about it. Cars
Mhm.
today, how do they stack up against cars yesterday?
Mhm.
Right? Agriculture today, how does it stack up against agriculture yesterday?
Right.
You understand? We need to take those losses as ingredients to success.
Right.
That's part of the building blocks to success,
Right. Right.
right? If you were successful at something, part of it is going to be work ethic.
Right.
Part of it is going to be skill.
Yeah.
Part of it is going to be just blessings, pure luck.
Right. Right.
Some people don't believe in luck. Some people say it's not luck, it's a blessing, right? Now, if you were blessed with everything that you did and had no failure, no faults, how do you speak to the other person that may not be as blessed as you in the areas that you were blessed? You don't.
So you won't have a story,
You don't have a story. There's no story for you.
right?
Losses, we need them, but we got to understand the mindset of, okay, how am I going to learn from it? How am I going to bounce back from it?
Right, right. How you bounce
How am I
back?
going to bounce
Right.
back from it? You understand? And and you got to have faith.
Right.
You got to have faith. You gotta faith. Faith. They say the faith of a mustard seed can move a mountain, right? You got to, but it's like making a cake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're making a cake, right? My dad makes something. We call it bakes in the island,
Okay.
right? It's like a bread. What does he make it with? He takes flour, he takes water, he takes baking powder, a little bit of sugar, and he makes bread with that, right? If I give you those stuff on the table and you don't have the mindset, I'm gonna make bread.
I don't know what the fuck to do with that shit.
What the fuck are you do with it, bro?
Yeah.
Am I wrong or right?
No, you're right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? You gotta. Life gives you different ingredients. You just gotta build on it,
Absolutely.
and you don't let anybody deter you from something you want.
So, how is Q gonna win in 2018?
Oh man!
So how
Can I
would-
tell you something?
How
Can I tell you something?
What's up?
I'm already winning.
Okay.
I'm already winning. I like I said, I ended 2017 with the loss of my grandmother. My grandmother was a very prayerful person. She was a very ambitious person, right? And in her 70s, she went back to school um, to be a preacher or a reverend, right?
Wow. Okay.
And she graduated valedictorian of her class in her 70s.
Wow.
In her 70s, right? In 2018, I'm on a mission to for one, be a better person.
Got you.
To be a better person, to be to take a second to look at my shortcomings.
Okay.
And when I say shortcomings, it's not something negative. I'm just looking at what I need to improve on
Sure.
to take care of that mission. You understand? If we as people don't take a second to be like, how can I be better?
Right.
How are you going to be better? So,
No doubt, yeah.
So, to my mindset for 2018 is that self betterment.
Sure.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
Right. Second thing, short term goals.
Okay.
I'm talking about the non for profit.
Yeah.
Don't look at 10 years from now, 5 years from now. What do I have to do now to accomplish that?
Right.
Right.
Those steps, right?
Write it down.
Because people always talk about the goal, which is great. They write down the goals, but
Yeah.
they don't talk
How
about
we
the
get there.
steps.
How we get there.
Yeah.
How we get there.
Exactly.
Write them down.
Right.
When you write them down, as you accomplish it, cross it off.
So how soon you expect to have location? How soon you expect to start having your first couple people or one person in there training? Like, what's your timeline?
Before the middle of the year,
Okay.
I work for a company. I don't want to say the company on the,
No,
on, the,
yeah.
on the podcast, but I have already spoken to my manager,
Mhm.
who has a passion for boxing. Also,
Ah,
the
so-
irony of it, and
So you kind
my
of have a
company-
connect then. He's
Yeah,
gonna kind of look out then.
my company. In the very short future, we're working on sponsoring a amateur show in Georgia.
Wow.
Right? We're gonna have an and it's gonna be hopefully from how this one goes up, maybe it'll be an annual show where it'll be like the so invitational.
Okay.
We're gonna bring fighters,
That
from
sounds what's
all
up.
over Georgia. We'll probably even invite fighters from, different
Yeah.
states. But what we're doing is the profits of it is gonna go to a charity event that will help the youth,
Amazing.
right?
Amazing.
One of the programs that I hope to contribute to is music programs, music programs in the middle schools, in the high schools, because Georgia's a Georgia is a beautiful state. Sports is huge within our
Absolutely.
youth,
Yeah,
right?
it's fucking
The
ridiculous.
football team
Yeah.
has a lot of
High school is
attention.
ridiculous.
High school
College,
football,
yeah, man.
but then we have at the football games. There's a marching band.
Absolutely.
There's these kids that don't play football.
No.
They're playing,
But they're just as
instruments,
invested.
But they're just as invested.
Absolutely.
But they don't get the same contributions as, say, the football team.
Right,
They
right.
don't get the same contributions as as the teams that everybody feels and stands for. But they need our support the same way,
Absolutely.
and we're gonna do it. You know, we I'm interested in any program that's gonna build in our future. Any program that's gonna help our kids. For the next day.
Right.
A lot of people don't they migrate for different reasons.
Sure.
They migrate for different reasons. I'm migrated for a particular reason. I have 3 beautiful kids.
Yeah.
As a young man.
Same here. I got 3 kids, and I came down here 02 after 9/11, and I came down because my kid wanted to have a better life than outside of Brooklyn.
I had to.
Yeah, I had to give them that chance, opportunity I didn't have. But at the same time, it comes to a point that they lose it. They lose a little salt and pepper from it because the streets taught us something.
Yes.
They lived in the cul-de-sac, so they got cul-de-sac fucking life.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was my job to really instill to them, this is what the streets is like.
Yes.
You may not be experiencing it the way I'm experiencing it, but I'm going to give you still knowledge based off of that.
But you know what, though? This is what you're doing and what I'm doing is what America is built on.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
Thanksgiving. We just had Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We just had Thanksgiving, right? What's the meaning of Thanksgiving? People came to America
Right.
to start something, right?
Right.
People came to America to start something, and if I get the story right, if I don't get this right, correct me. They were fed, right?
They killed the fucking Indian.
Well, they were fed.
They were
right?
fed, no doubt.
And this is history's a funny thing. History's a funny thing, and sometimes history is not really what happened. It's really how the story gets told.
Absolutely.
So I'm only going by what the story
I'm not
in
absolutely
the history books what was, right? But our beautiful country is built on people coming here to make a better life, right? We have, right now, there's such a thing where they want to build this wall for Mexico, which I think is crazy.
Right.
Which is crazy because these people come here to fulfill a dream, right? And let's talk about I don't want to be off the subject, but what have the Mexicans done? They're hardworking, they're family oriented, right? Are they not?
Yeah, they are.
The Africans,
They're normal fucking people.
the Haitians come here. The Haitians come here.
Yeah.
The Haitians come here and they work, right? Jamaicans, Guyanese, Puerto Rico is America, right?
Yeah.
But still, they still come here and they contribute to our culture, to our melting pot, right?
Absolutely.
Right. If we didn't have all these spices from all these other countries, what would we be like?
And that's the thing, like, we'll be the fucking losing and not winning.
We wouldn't.
And this is where, like I said, me and you met because we had the Brooklyn fucking attitude.
Yes.
And it wasn't a good exchange, actually. It really wasn't. You had me fucking pissed. I wanted to fuck you up.
Nah, that wasn't gonna happen though. don't talk for the iPad. Don't
Exactly.
talk for the post.
I have to for the podcast. But
Don't talk for the podcast.
Q is a bigger man than I am. Yeah, he is, and he probably would have kicked my ass anyway.
No,
but,
God is great.
God
is great.
The biggest thing was the next day. We were like, yo, what's going on, man?
It's
like,
true.
And you kind of knew, we kind of felt we were from kind of the same spot, just because the attitudes were very similar, almost the same. Our responses to each other was exact.
Yes.
And then from there, the respect just began, and it kind of grew from there. Now, definitely the friendship.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And it's been great because when I started the podcast thing, and I came up to Q, I was, yo, you know what? I want to get your story on record. You know what I'm saying?
Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
Just nothing bigger than respect.
Absolutely.
There's nothing. People get mad at me because I tell them, and if you think about it, I believe I'm right. Respect has more value than love.
Absolutely.
Respect, because we could be in a relationship for 10 years,
Mhm.
and we fall out of love, without doing anything, just fall out of love.
Right, right.
But I have to do something for you to lose respect for me.
Exactly.
I have to do something for you to be like, I don't respect him.
Yeah,
You understand what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
And look at this, right? You're in a relationship. You have a relationship with a woman, and you love her.
Yeah.
You love her 10 times over, and she loves you the same way. One day she wakes up, and she's like, Ralphie, I don't love you anymore.
Yeah.
What do you do with your love?
Shit, I got to figure out how
You
to
can
make
put it in
it
your
back.
pocket.
Yeah, I can put it in my pocket and
You can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
Because if she don't love you back, there's nothing you could do that will make her love you if she just doesn't love you.
right.
Right? So, what do you do with it? What do you do with it?
You gotta use that energy someplace else.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
that's where we come talking about like regretful energy and things like that. And
Yes.
how, like I said, it stopped you in kind of your tracks with
Yes.
the loss, and then you said, "I'm gonna I'm gonna try to do coaching and
Yes.
shit like that." But then the daily grind of life
Yes.
takes over,
You can't let
and
it.
you lose sight
You
of your passion.
Yes.
And sometimes you forget how you, and to get back into it, it's almost like riding a bike again. Like
Yeah. You gotta.
you gotta try, and like, okay, well, hold on, I remember this, and
I think this.
but then
yeah.
shit changed over years, right?
Yeah.
There's new techniques, there's new styles,
Yeah.
there's different ways.
But you know what? Boxing's a thing. Boxing's a thing that even if you're in it every day, you gotta study your craft.
Absolutely,
You gotta study your craft.
you gotta become that subject matter expert. You gotta
have
become
to.
that.
You have to.
Yeah.
I learned stuff. I learned stuff every day about boxing. When I say every day, because I watch boxing every day, right? I've had conversations with people that you know what? I have like I'll say his name. I have a lot of conversations with a gentleman, Floyd Mayweather's uncle, Jeff Mayweather, and his boxing IQ. Happy New Year, Jeff. It's your brother Quasi. Love you, man. His boxing IQ is so high that I love speaking to him.
Right.
And we interchange and we talk and think, and we would talk about fights or talk about this, talk about fights that we've watched or talk about fights upcoming, and I don't want to talk his business, but we talked about the Sugar Shane Floyd Mayweather fight before it happened, and I, among other people, was like, this is going to be a very hard fight for Floyd because Sugar Shane was extremely fast,
Right.
extremely experienced, a lot of pep, a lot of power, right?
Right.
He's obviously a Hall of Famer.
Right.
He's obviously was a great champion,
Right.
right? And I said, this is probably going to be Floyd's hardest fight. And he said no. He said no. And I said, what? How could you say that? And he said, well, for one, Shane don't have a jab. Sugar Shane don't have a jab.
So he really started breaking him down. He doesn't
broke
have.
it down. He broke it.
It's obvious what he has.
He obviously has.
So let's figure out what he doesn't have.
But he doesn't have.
Right.
And sure enough, you've seen it. He had his moments in the fight, early in the fight, but once the adjustments were made, there was nothing he could do. Why? Because he didn't have that jab. He had that point jab.
So he didn't.
Right.
He didn't add any skill set.
Yeah,
He could have added a jab in training.
no,
He could have added something in training.
no,
You
it
don't
was
think
done.
so? It was done.
Was done. At that stage of his career.
Okay, well,
And that,
later.
the zebra not going to change.
Well, that's
his
similar
stripes.
to basketball players where
Yeah.
they come one dimension, right? So like, let's say like what's his face in Charlotte now? Give me his name. Big center, Dwight Howard.
Yeah,
Dwight Howard, I think, could have been a massive success.
he could have been.
Right. He has.
could've
He,
been. But
he
he's
has
a
a talent.
success.
He
He's
has
a
a-
su-
he
he's a
has a
success.
talent.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the work ethic.
Okay.
He never added a jump shot to
no,
his game.
No.
He didn't evolve his game.
No.
Because you get older, you got
it's
to
so
evolve.
funny. We talked about him. We talked about him a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
A good family friend of mine. Good morning, Tina. She's in Georgia. God bless her. Support women's basketball.
Yeah.
We need to support women's basketball. I want to see a WNBA video game soon. I want to see
That's
it.
genius right there. That's
I want to
smart.
see it.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you know what? They're balling.
Yeah.
They're balling just like
Yeah.
the men. And if you've seen female athletes, I take it from me. I'm a coach. I think they work harder than male athletes for the most
They have a lot against them. They have a lot to prove.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Q, man, I know it's been, you got to go. I understand that.
Mm,
It's been great
yeah.
sharing your story. I appreciate you sharing your story, man.
No
You taught me a
problem.
lot just
No
talking to you.
problem.
And,
You know, one thing I want to finish with,
yeah, man.
we talked about how you accomplish your dreams.
Mhm.
You know, when I was a little boy, I was in math class, and teacher, Mr. Coldy, was teaching us the law of probability.
Okay.
If P, then Q. If P is given, then Q. Do you remember that when you were
Yeah.
a kid? That's life, man. I thought I would never use that, but I use it every day. Once you understand what P stands for,
Yeah.
what Q stands for, and what's given, and how you get to it, you get it. That's the formulas, whether it's for boxing, whether it's for job improvement, whether it's for making yourself a better person, working on your relationship. Like, listen, if P is staying out late, Q is you're going to be in trouble. It's simple.
I
Don't
love
do
that.
P.
I fucking love that.
All right? Man,
That's
God
great,
bless
man.
you.
Yo, that's
All
what's
right?
up, bro. Thanks again, bro.
My pleasure, man.
Yo,
My pleasure.
and let's
All
do our
right?
thing, man. I
Definitely.
can't wait. We're gonna do this again when you get the gym open.
Say no more. When we have the show, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
But you heard that first. He said he's down with it.
Definitely.
All right, guys. All right, bro. All right.